to know that, look, this movement is really catching fire in the continent.
Yes, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
What is being done, Lawrence? What was, in fact, why was the conference in Lesotho held in the first place? I want to understand why you organized.
No, it's an annual conference.
Okay.
It's called Teaching and Learning in African Conference. And last year, this year in Lesotho, we were able to look at, teaching and learning in Africa for global competitiveness.
Okay.
That's to show you that actually we want to benchmark ourselves with what is happening in the rest of the world.
Okay.
Because we cannot be in even African teachers go to teach in the rest of the world. No, it may surprise you to know that.
No, that's actually
yes.
True.
Ghanaian teachers, Nigerian teachers, they are found teaching in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And so if we want to operate at global level, we will have to understand what is the movement globally and be able to key into what they are doing. And so the conference was able to look at, what are the global issues that are being discussed and how do they, how do we tackle them in Africa? Okay. And as Africans, we're able to sit down together at that conference and be able to extract all our activities within the ambit of the global movement so that we'll be able to position ourselves. It was a good opportunity for African countries to come together and be able to look at what we do as against what the rest of the world is doing.
Yes. So what are some of the issues that came up during the conference?
No, we look at the issue of pedagogy.
Okay.
Can
you break that down for us?
Yes, teaching skills, teaching knowledge and pedagogical knowledge and skills. Okay, of our teachers. What do we do, especially in relation to ICT?
Okay.
Yes, which is very critical. It is 21st century teaching.
Exactly.
Our teachers cannot afford to remain as what we call BBC teachers, born before computer teachers. BBC.
Yeah,
they are born before computers.
Exactly.
Our teachers cannot afford to remain as BBC teachers. Yeah. And so they have to move. They have to be technologically savvy.
Yeah.
They have to move with the rest of the world. These are some of the issues we look at, and how to use technology-mediated learning, technology-mediated examination, and some of the issues that surrounds the 21st century teaching. These are some of the things that we examined in Lesotho. And so many papers were presented by experts across the continent, and they were able to sum up some of the steps that countries could take to make sure that we achieve this.
Okay, so you brought up the issue of steps again to be able to curb this issue. What are some of these steps that emerged? No,
look, for example, he has been talking about going to look at your standards.
Yeah.
Each country was mandated to actually develop its own professional standard.
Is it at the point of joining, or every year it's reviewed?
Well, no. In Nigeria, we developed our professional standard in 2010. The first one was developed in 2010. We have just reviewed it this year, given the current realities, given the current global realities. We have just reviewed it this year. So countries that have the professional standard before, like even South Africa, they have just developed their professional standard and is going through the National Assembly in South Africa to be able to make sure that it's passed as a law. It goes through as a law for the country, and that will guide the operation. So countries actually were mandated after the conference to go back, look at their professional standard, look at their code of conduct or code of ethics, and see how they can improve that to make sure that we incorporate current global realities.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Lawrence, there's an executive board meeting actually happening right now in Ghana in preparation for the conference that will happen next
2020.
year. Yes, exactly. Before we even talk about the preparations toward the conference, I'd like to understand the kind of challenges that you've had in implementing all these things from the conference here in Ghana.
No, with the conference, as Prof said, it's annual rituals.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the executive board members come together to discuss issues confronting the teaching in Africa.
Yeah.
And then fix a date and make preparation towards the how to organize the AFTRA conference. Last week, we were in Nigeria to look at how the establishment of AFTRA is taking place over there. And over there, the Minister of Education has given us office and a vehicle to run AFTRA, because that is where we manage our day-to-day activities. In Ghana, because the issue of teacher professionalism started 2 years ago, getting the buy-in of stakeholders is something we have to intensify, because people don't see why teachers should even be licensed in the first place.
Yeah.
And again, people also think that once you have gone through the training, there's no need for you to sit for any license examination.
Exactly.
But this is the case. We have so many teacher training institutions in the country.
Yeah.
Legon is training teachers, Tech is training teachers, Valley View,
Even in the
UK
central
University, and
region.
others.
Yeah.
So for us to have a common standard to ensure that,
Yeah.
and it must be paid for. So last month we had a sensitization program where we raised the fact that teachers are going to pay for the license. And because the education hasn't gone well, people don't see why teachers should pay for the license.
For the license.
They want the license, but the payment issue is where they don't seem to agree.
Okay.
So we are planning to engage them.
Yeah,
After
let me just
actually
weigh
run out
in
of
a
time.
bit.
We've
Yes, I
actually
just
run
want to
out of
weigh
time.
in a bit about our
so
teachers.
We'll take your last few words because we ran out of time.
I have to weigh in here because look,
Okay.
it's not only in Ghana. Teachers have to pay for this. Other professionals actually pay for their licenses.
Yeah.
Lawyers do, medical doctors do,
Yeah.
nurses as
Yeah.
well pay for their licenses. So teachers are should actually pay. In Nigeria, you pay for the professional qualifying examination.
Okay.
You pay for your certificate of registration. You pay for your licenses.
Right.
You know, it's important because this is how the teaching council will have to survive.
As
you know,
well.
As well, yes,
Okay.
in terms of running their programs.
Okay.
So I think we want to encourage her. And let me say this: nobody is going to celebrate us as teachers.
Yeah,
we are
you
going
have
to
do it
celebrate
yourselves.
ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's what.
Getting into.
It's been wonderful being with you.
Thank you. We'll be getting into the newspaper review. Stay tuned.
At FBN Bank, we see you. 125 years of putting you first. From First Bank of Nigeria comes our subsidiaries in Sub-Sahara Africa. DRC, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and beyond. You can bank on our experience because at FBN Bank, we put you first.
Celebrating hard work and corporate excellence. Under the distinguished patronage of the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center presents the 18th edition of the Ghana Club 100 Awards to honor 100 companies that are front desk of the GIPC office. Join us in celebrating Ghana's King partner, Ernst & Young, title sponsor, Ecom Ghana Limited, platinum sponsors, Olam Ghana Limited and B5 Plus, gold sponsor, GCNet, supporting
Mebano che will be 2 years. And into will be when you intend to Mahodimu. I can't believe it.
And you believe who? Baby Vite multivitamin drops. And my wife, this is some of friend no more. When you intend for 200 ml.
Kids Fun Talk.
Get ready for talented also be around. Rap, singing, and spelling competition items at Kids Fun Talk 2019. Still, you are free to play.
The hit show Family Feud is about to take Ghana by South Africa. Advent and Comfort Feud.
Come a long way in healthcare delivery.
Life that is filled with happiness.
Relax.
Spent on 2020 election, Finance Minister assures 2020 budget focus.
This in the past, one Dankwa Institute that will
Thought leadership from the Dankwa Institute.
no beyond the partisan politics.
Okay.
That's the difficulty that I have.
Okay, all right. And a note here, we'll get it.
See, I'm actually prepared. When I saw the note from the Judicial Secretary,
Right.
I was thinking that will form the basis for us to maybe go to court this morning because I have a matter at the Labour Court.
Right.
And in the court. You don't give us, okay, and you win. In the unlikely event, you get a second chance with this promise, and you decide not to fulfill the promise, then we will be at a loss. So put something on the table.
But if the government wins, that will mean that the promise will be sure.
No, you are not getting the point. But you are telling them that you wait.
Right.
When I get my second term in 2021,
then
I will do this
right.
for you. More or less blackmailing them to give you a second term. And then people are saying that put something on the table now. Let's see, feel it. I will show some commitment so we can take it up from
forward. Or as a journalist or as a friend of your life that says that this person is a legal service person or is working within this space to promote a certain value. So when you are supposed to be the ones who cause all of us to abide by the rule of law, and you are conducting yourself in a way that the law says is not appropriate, regulate yourself and go according to the law.
Okay.
So I think they should go back, and all other incidental issues will be addressed in the course of time according to law. And I don't think anybody is set out to disadvantage them.
And your side say they were disappointed, or that they are disappointed in the 2020 budget that was presented yesterday. Tell me your initial thoughts about the Nkabom and budget that was put out there.
car roads projects to be done in the country.
Okay.
And it provides the regional breakdown. Incidentally, of the 16 new regions, I've been trying to find out. I've asked persons in government what exactly is happening.
Okay.
In fact, persons associated with government that I spoke to, some of them even ridiculed. They say, by UNDC, you said you have done all the roads.
Okay.
And so if Volta, why are you talking about roads in Volta? And they make reference to the NDC Green Book.
I'm checking table 21 now.
Yes.
It starts with the Hafo region, Ashanti, Bono East, Central, Eastern, Greater Accra, Northeast, Northern. It goes to T, Savannah, Upper East, Upper West.
Of persons who like reading and others, you don't want to give them the benefit that it could be a place of title.
Richard, do we know why the Volta region is not captured? The roads plan, because next year government says it will be all about roads.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Volta region need roads? The Eastern Corridor passes through there, for example.
Yeah. The Eastern Corridor Road passed through the Volta region, and it has been there for the past however many years. Okay? So what's the question?
The question is that table 21.
We have had
table 21.
We have had a government. It doesn't capture it. When was it captured? And if it was captured before, why is it still needed to be captured?
Can
today?
I respond?
No, you ask me. Let me answer the question. Okay. So this kind of sectional parochial look at things is worrying to me. Now the question here is, did that table capture every region? Did it capture every region?
It captured every region but the Volta region.
But Volta region. And you look in the rest of the budget. Has any road in the Volta region captured in the budget?
Tell me.
It has. There are. I think a number of roads, the whole dualization road, and then the bypass road. But please, hold on. Please. Hold on. You asked a question, so let me answer.
I didn't ask a question. It's only fair. No, he's my brother. I can... The audit report.
But we've been promised that the project will continue.
No, so it has continuity. So don't come and create the impression that nothing happened.
But you see,
that's all that I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine. But you see, when you create the impression that there's a whole budget presented and the whole region was isolated.
Oh, but he read
forget
table 21.
But you see, listen, it's not every page that talks about everything. That's why you have page 1, 2, and 3, and every page talks about... Wait, it's instructive.
Hold on. Okay.
You understand?
So, Richard, my
is table 21 part of the budget or not?
Are you not worried that all 15 regions have been listed?
Yeah.
And the title says these are very important roads. And the Volta region is not part of it. Are you not worried?
Why should I be worried? And that's the question I'm asking myself. Why should I be worried? Is the rest of the 15 regions not part of Ghana? Just this weekend, I was in the northern region, I was in the Upper East region. I drove on roads. Was I discriminated that I was from the Volta region, so I couldn't drive on those roads?
So the title of the sorry about that. It says critical regional road projects programmed for construction in 2020.
Yes.
Okay.
Critical regional road projects programmed for construction in 2020.
Yeah.
Is this to suggest then that there's no critical regional road project in the Volta region that must be captured in table 21?
Not at all. Not at all. You see, I was going to deal with some preliminary issues to get to that answer. You see, we had 8 years. Did we have table 21 that talks about critical road? Honorable. The point of the matter
if the typo is anything to go by, do you think honestly that the people of the Volta region deserve an apology? You said it. I'm just
I'm just telling you that it is the frame in which we discuss the thing that is relevant. I want us to talk about how this whole country will be developed. I cannot for the life of me say that go and do all the roads in the Volta region when I live in Accra and we need to develop roads in Accra. But you're saying that there's no roads in Volta region, so therefore government is not doing anything.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
But that is the inference.
I am saying that I have counted 50.
That should be the basis for analyzing this. So therefore, I'm saying that perhaps the Deputy Minister of Finance point that is raised, maybe that
of how the Finance Minister nicknamed the budgets.
Okay.
We have said that we have seen the 2017 budget read by Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. We have seen the 2018 budget. We have seen 2019, and we have seen that of, the 2020 budget. Incidentally, critical funding that we need in specific sectors have been denied those sectors.
Is it not to ensure fiscal discipline?
No, there's no such thing. Because this administration has demonstrated that there's no such thing like fiscal discipline.
Really? After still passing the law that you can't go beyond 5%?
No, and you know what they have decided to do? They are borrowing on the balance sheets of statutory agencies. Do you get it? And so those statutory agencies are the one borrowing for government to consume about cocoa farmers.
Right.
Where the two of us come from, Hohoi. Cocoa farmers from Pampangwe, Ampeyo, Hamansu, right from Nkwanta, they have their data in CMB office in Hohoi. So when you say you need 55 million Ghana cedis just to collect their data, their farm size, and what have you, when you already have those data in all the CMB offices throughout the country, obviously that's campaign financing.
How sure are you?
Look, Hughes, that is why I'm telling you that. Because we have the physical, the enactment that says that when Parliament demanded this criteria, they used their numbers and bulldozed the transaction through. Look,
and he's talking about the fact that it is dubious.
Yes, I heard him.
So what's your response?
I heard him. But you see,
$600
there is a way that you can still make your point, advance your political interest that is consistent with the truth. This is not.
Which is the truth?
The truth is that you have, now I've always maintained the position that the management of our economy does not correspond to the scientific economic management because there's a lot of leakages and maximum importation of things. So therefore, your planning really does not correspond to the models that you have.
You're using 55 million to
exactly, and the balance of it, yes.
And he can't trust that of statutory funds. And that you need to keep the monies in the account so the accounts look good, and then you use it as a springboard to go and borrow and come and use it for campaign. That's his allegation. What do you say?
You know, when he sent us to IMS, anyway, earlier he's talked about superior wisdom. He's not being loyal to policy. He's not being loyal to policy because really why? Because the end
it and we are
students were assembled somewhere in Alergo and we're praying. Oh no, please, that is proven. So let's not do that. I am telling you that there are individuals who will mask themselves because if you see energy this morning, how did you hold on? See, I don't see the concern in terms of the change in policy, because I want to find out, were those same people, are they in school now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Were they in school before?
That's what some of them.
So that is the credibility matter. Because you were not in school when Edward wants to say with his party today that, yes, as for us, we have an alternative proposition that will grow this economy. Let's discuss that. But what is put in here, there is no equivalent proposition from them. But to take the numbers and bastardize it, I think that you're doing a disservice to Ghana. And he said,
if the economy is growing on the books,
yeah,
how come we were not able to reach any of our revenue targets that we set for ourselves? Were they over ambitious, or I don't understand? Maybe you could help me.
Well, you see,
because if we are growing, it means we are getting more. If we are getting more, we should be able to hit the revenue targets.
Yes.
But we haven't been able to hit a SEMPA budget, a Juma budget, and now this one.
But one thing you will know, that is consistent with budgeting. I am saying.
Then you know the interesting thing. Let me just use one case study.
Okay.
The road fund. Parliament decided that we needed critical money to resolve the problems within the road sector.
Right.
So around 2000, somewhere under MPP decided to do is that in 2017 they capped the road fund and took 800 million Ghana cedis from it for other consumption activities. In 2018, they took 600 million. In 2019, 1.2 billion from the road fund. And this year, the 2020 budget, they plan taking another 600 million from it. Now, when you put it together, that's 3.2 billion. Now, when you use 3.2...
Why do we go and borrow 2 billion?
No, so I am coming there. So road fund alone, the capping alone has taken 3.2 billion from the road fund. Meanwhile, Sino Hydro is giving us $500 million. 500 times 5, assuming the exchange rate is even 5 Ghana cedi. That amounts to 2.5 billion. Meanwhile, the road fund alone, by reason of the bushes, the hospitals that we're supposed to be building, you have left all of them in the bushes because you want money to pay consumption. Look, from 2017, 2018, 2019, look at the budgetary allocation for government machinery. For the first time in the history of this country, the allocation, government machinery allocation 2013, this chop policy cannot continue.
You are not seeing results, which is why you are complaining.
No, it is not a question of result. We all
But
know. No, beyond that. No,
1 minute so that.
No, 1 minute.
And we can't.
No, 1 minute so that Richard will come in. Look, Hughes, the difficulty that I have.
I'm telling you, Johnny, hold on.
How government intends to spend to expand the economy for the private sector, that young entrepreneur, to be able to. And I'll go back to the common fund.
Yes.
Look, if you have a common
Local
fund for the
government.
district assembly,
Yeah.
it will make our local government so smooth
Policy.
that people would not have to wait to get their small for Kosi in there. I mean, persons with disability, and I go out a lot, I see them. Most of them, children with cerebral
that you are able to expand school feeding. You know that it's still under this capping regime that you are able to expand LEAP in all 260. But there are other ones that are not here on the table.
Right.
I've seen small macho before.
And the viewers are surprised.
You never seen small macho before. So here's the thing. The NEC has no moral right. In fact, the pain of Ghanaians today is blamable on Edwiji and his party.
Richard, so the finance minister said that he mentioned jobs that have been created in the agricultural sector.
Yeah.
And he's mentioned also how money has been put in the pockets of people through the Planting for Food and Jobs.
Absolutely.
But we realized that when Nigeria closed their borders, and Ivory Coast as well, our market suffered. If Planting for Food and Jobs is a real success, why would we be crying, hey, when Nigeria and Ivory Coast will close their borders? Because it appeared we have imported tomatoes, onions, yam, everything. So what is Planting for Food and Jobs planting? And then there's also planting for export and rural development, PED.
Yes,
so,
for export.
Yes.
I cannot agree with you when you talk about we import yam and those things.
We don't import them.
No.
The market women themselves said it. They said they bring them in from those countries. So
From
now that
where?
the borders are closed.
Everywhere I went, I was giving yam. I know the The places I was giving yam, they didn't go buy from Burkina Faso anyway. I recently, this year, I think about 3 months ago, was in OT. I saw a yam that was harvested, just fresh yams were harvested. On the stretch from Akosombo toward Volta region, you see yams harvested. They were not imported.
Okay.
So the point of this is propaganda, and I want you to understand
Okay.
that. But the truth of the matter is, Planting for Food and Job has done tremendous good. And I think that we need to continue. Look at this.
The 745,000 jobs that are said to have been created has been questioned by...
Than ever in the history of this country. My brother says you should applaud them for it. When you have a show like this, you make access to people to partake in our governance process. So when you make it difficult, more expensive, I can't follow you.
All right, first one says, all right, good morning, Johnny.
Yes.
Are we going? Good morning, Johnny. I'm so surprised that a pure Voltairean like Richard is not disturbed when his own region is left out of the 2020 budget. Richard is defending his government, so why is Richard into politics? Is it not to influence development to his people and Ghanaians as a whole? Richard, open your eyes and emulate your Achim colleagues who are always bent on sending everything to the eastern region. That's from Abbas Wanwana from Wa. Please kindly ask Kukrin to me. Alaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, Johnny, please tell Richard to stop this act of insulting the intelligence of Ghanaians and credit us with some level of respect. Richard should be aware that government and leaders are elected to come and solve our problems, but not to come and explain our problems to us because we know the problems already. The NPP is always behaving as if they are the only political party mandated by God to rule this country. Bad change. Okay, good morning, TV3. Please tell Nana Addo that he should stop in Tamale. Good morning, TV3. Johnny, tell the NDC man to stop always engaging himself in propaganda with the budget for 2020 and allow the NPP man to tell us the real truth. George from Kumasi. I'm Dr. Dow.
Well, gentlemen,
let me answer
45,
Anthony,
55,
yes. Anthony's question.
Yeah,
but you know,
no,
economy.
let me answer.
I thought.
Look, Sipton Switch Limited. A contract was given to them for 4.6 billion in this country by Eduji's government and Benu's government.
Is that the answer to?
I'm telling you. Yes, I'm telling you. Wait.
The
same contract was performed under this government for 4.5 million.
Okay.
So that explains that this government is not one to misuse.
How do you explain 45 million for national census count and 50 of the down?
Bigger than my wife.
Other Productions and Fidelity Mobile. That's Airport Cooker.
A to Z Auto Service.
Endpoint. Ewa clinic. Ewa homeopathic clinic.
I'm free.
Thank you, sir. Hello, my name is Samuel Ofori, a film actor and a film director. Because of the nature of my job, the taste for quality things is endless. Quality phones, laptops, quality TV sets.
It's the third Chamber Business Awards on the theme Digitizing the Ghanaian Economy for Competitive Edge in a Globalized Market. Date 23rd November 2019. Venue Accra International Conference Center. Time is 6 p.m. prompt. Join us at the Dr. Mahamadou.
Takoradi was great.
I am so happy. I'm grateful to TV3 for giving me this opportunity.
Junction Mall, Nungwa, Accra.
4 days of massive discount on all products.
Call 0241 2718.
Exciting as they discuss the Ladies Circle.
Coming soon on TV.
5 matches drawn. Now 6. Last chance. It lost by 3 confirms late last season.
Talking about it, and we get a lot more companies interested as well. Absolutely. So I'll start with you, Frances. Yes. For those who don't even know what the Ghana Club 100 is about, even though it's existed for many years, can you let us know a bit more about the Ghana Club 100 Awards?
Yeah, thank you very much, Crystal. And the Ghana Club 100, it's an annual compilation of top 100 companies to give due recognition to enterprise building. It was launched in 1998 by the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. And it serves as a platform for corporate excellence. As well as serving as a platform for corporate excellence, brand companies are supposed to serve as role models for the private sector, and also as a platform for engaging governments at the highest level. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what the Ghana Club 100 is about. It's about corporate excellence and recognition of top successful companies.
So it means that a lot of corporate institutions would be looking forward to being placed in the top 100 in Ghana.
Absolutely.
How are entries? How do you get to your entries? How many companies actually apply for this? Do they apply? What's the process like?
Yeah, averagely we get plus or minus 200 submissions or entries. And yeah, so
200
plus or minus in a year. So that's the submissions we get, and it's actually handed over to the consultant that does the ranking.
The ranking. Yeah. But how do these companies come up in the first place? How do these entries come up? Is it people who vote for them, or the companies themselves can nominate themselves?
No, we don't. People don't vote for them. What we do is we actually advertise in the dailies for companies who are willing to be ranked to submit their audited account, the last 3 years audited accounts. So, I mean, once they submit it, we collate it and forward it to.
You select that theme as well. Do you select companies that are working in the agricultural sector this time around? What's the correlation?
Well, it's not only sector.
Yeah.
So that's some of the reasons. Breakfast series.
You mentioned club members. Is it different from those who take part in the award scheme altogether? So you have a club that people apply to be a part of, companies apply to be a part of, and that's separate from the award scheme altogether? Aha, okay.
So I get the 27 to do the ranking and
okay.
Like the actually go through a bit.
Oh, Nick Shin, you don't know what so. What is a Vodafone? A double red 1, red 2, and red 5 offers. Hey,
and yet more powerful engines, higher pressures than up to 10,000 kilograms per centimeter squared. That's equivalent to 5 car technology to bring you our strongest, most advanced engine oil from
double experience.
Again,
on funding opportunities and so many.
06 TV3 SME and Funding Summit 2019.
Expand your network, grow your.
We discovered kindergarten.
Thanks so much to them.
Thank you very much.
Bring it on. Life know the sweet too. Hey, if some people know they hate you. Use the number C. Look at me now. We're running to see. And standing tall. Bring it on. You know they believe.
Look at the financial sector cleanup and how that has had an effect on a lot of people, especially for when all these job losses were recorded. And then fast forward till now, just last Friday as well, about charges me.
Management are mostly criminals. They want President Akufo-Addo to prosecute Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum together with the entire management of Gold Coast Fund.
But by this time, I should be rolling my trolley with every British breakfast and enjoy my...
Won the accounts of 2016 presidential candidate of the PPP, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, frozen. Jubilee House.
Is an investment locked up as... First of all, I want to...
That is why I say, you said 150. If your level of hope is 20,000 perspective. It should tell us there will be mental health or psychological implications.
Yeah.
If it is crisis in what sense?
Yeah.
it is not just financial crisis. It is crisis for all stakeholders who are involved. If you call it, if I am to, those present an urban developer, it could be, they don't do away with the psychologist. What are they going to do? These salespeople get to the country.
Something that is right.
We shouldn't down.
Dr. Collins Ajiman Bedu, and he is a licensed psychologist, and we have a lot more questions. If you have any questions as well, let us know via social media at TV3 Ghana, also at Bella Mundi, and send us a WhatsApp as well. Let's take a look at another story of someone explaining,
media to help
money for my kids, and I'm furious. Yeah.
And how?
Telling
my own money.
Yeah.
It's a change. I behavior begin appointment that what we can all do to all those who feel hopeless, all those who think they have. They never wrote application, they never did their CVs to have.
Now they reviewed their salaries.
Exactly.
They're earning maybe 2,000 Ghana cedis.
And so these ones will have adjustment problems and they will need social support. Ignite. So they begin to do research almost 3 years on to find out how people feel. How do people feel getting trained as banking professionals, accounting professionals? How do people feel?
Out to support, and they brought canoes to our place. So I literally, that was my first time.
So once again, if we plan along with teams, with these psychosocial support staff, that is how it should be. Rescue teams, you always have psychologists on board. NADMOS you have. If we are cleaning up the financial sector, have we factored in the implications? If we are thinking of changing educational policies, have we factored in how it will affect people, parents, how people will feel and all those things? It's about time we begin to holistically look at how we incorporate psychology in every single thing that we do. Because if the person is healthy, all decisions they take will be rational. If the person is healthy, they will take steps that will yield profits. Productivity.
GL Royal Capital. I've been trying to retrieve my money for over 1 year now. Someone please, the issue.
As I mentioned, if any life-changing event is making you behave differently, you need psychosocial support. If people are overly stressed because of the situation, people even lose their sexual drive and sexual appetite as a result of what is happening. All these are psychological issues. They should just get closer to us. We can give them professional support so they stay alive, reposition themselves, recapture how they used to live and continue to move on. If they need adjustment, we can still help them so they can adjust their lifestyles so they don't get overly affected with some of the challenges that we are facing.
All right, thank you so much. Dr. Collins Bedu Ajiman, he is a licensed business psychologist, also the acting coordinator for University of Ghana Pan-African.
Celebrating hard work and corporate excellence. Under the distinguished patronage of the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the guy 12529 or 0244 877 58. Banking partner Ernst & Young. Business leaders.
This friend is the
will be 2 years. And into will be when you intend to mahodimu. I can't believe it. And you believe you Baby Vite multivitamin drops. And my wife, this is some of friend no when you intend for Fefesa. Baby Vite multivitamin drops. And your son with Baby Vite, the syrup 100 ml and the 200 ml. And was some of my wife
Big Fun Tour ignited Accra and Takrady with so Kumar on Saturday at the Rat Trip, 16th of November 2019.
So please call 0244 181 899 or 0243 551 367
to exhibit your products and services.
Talented Kids Fun Tour 2019. Still, you are free to play.
The hit show Family Feud is about to take Ghana by storm. Yes, Steve Harvey himself is looking for families, friends or colleagues to compete in South Africa. You heard me.
Be laughing at my dance moves, man. This is a 2019 kind of dance move. But anyways, yes, be careful before financial. you know,
Okay,
come
so
into this?
we were four guys in the Western region, and we were doing music already, project. So SAS for 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years of managing all the different situations.
Try all our until before it is too late.
For the treatment after a day or two.
And the test was positive. So you have to fight the malaria with ACT. ACTs are really effective for malaria, and I'm glad to do the right thing for my daughter before it was too late. Getting tested first and getting the right treatment.
Let's come together and drive malaria away for good life. Don't self-medicate. Test for malaria at a pharmacy or a clinic as soon as you notice symptoms.
8th to the 29th of November. Get your favorite men and women's fashion, laptops, TVs, home appliances, mobile phones, and many more at amazing prices exclusive to Jumia.
20 years of Ghana JJA Award.
Great Nation, Frytol is searching to unearth talents. Watch as our contestants cook with Frytol's amazing range of products. Cooking skills at its best. The prize, a life-changing business investment of 100,000 Ghana cedis, courtesy of Frytol Wilma Africa. Who will be the first ever Frytol Enriching Lives cooking champion? November 16th on TV3, watch the biggest reality cooking show at 6 p.m. every Saturday. Brought to you by Frytol. Frytol enriching lives, unearthing talent, fulfilling dreams.
There must be a lucky lady. I know the dynamics.
I can't speak